If you're a fan of PF Chang's, you're gonna love today's recipe. We're making chicken lettuce wraps just like theirs with that crunchy, savory, and slightly sweet flavor that keeps us going back. It's another restaurant quality recipe, but without the price tag.
Hi, I'm Angie. Welcome back to Dinner and Aside. We're here to help you elevate your cooking with restaurant quality recipes you can make at home. No culinary degree required. So stick around, your dinner is about to get a serious upgrade.
You know those lettuce wraps. Everyone craves them, but the restaurant's far away or you don't want to spend that much money for dinner. Wouldn't it be great if you could make them at home? Well, you can. We've been perfecting this copycat recipe for years, and now it's time to pass it along to you.
Whenever our mom flies through Seattle SeaTac Airport, she tries to plan her layovers so that she can stop and get lettuce wraps from PF Chang's. Well, we promised her the recipe so that she could make them at home instead. I really believe that the food you make at home should be just as good, if not better, than the food you can get in a restaurant. It doesn't take a culinary degree, and it shouldn't cost a whole paycheck either.
A single order of chicken lettuce wraps at PF Chang's costs $17. Can you believe that? You can make them at home just as good or even better for less than half the price. Plus, you can make them anytime you want. It's good enough for me.
Me too, so let's get started. In any successful cooking endeavor, the number one rule is mise en place. It's a French term for everything in its place, but to me it really means be prepared. It's the secret to cooking without tearing your hair out. This recipe is surprisingly simple, but there are quite a few components. So let's get the prep out of the way first, and then we'll be ready to cook. Let's go over our ingredients so you know what you need to get. Most of this stuff you can get at your local grocery store. Some of it you may need to get at an Asian market. I've got a pound of ground chicken here, and I've got these dried shiitake mushrooms. They add a really nice earthy flavor to the chicken wraps, and I just got them at Safeway. I like to get them dried because you can keep them around for when the need for lettuce wraps strikes. You do need to rehydrate them. To do that, just soak them in some hot water for about 15 minutes. And we're gonna use that mushroom water too. Nothing goes to waste. You also need an 8-ounce can of drained and finely chopped water chestnuts. This really is the ingredient that's non-negotiable. It adds that signature crunch. Then we have our aromatics. We have minced garlic, green onions, and some sesame oil. This recipe has two great sauces. The sauce that you cook with the chicken and the one that you serve on the side that you can pour over the top. That's really where the magic happens, because without those sauces, you just have boring, bland chicken. For the chicken sauce, we're using 1 tablespoon of each of these. We've got oyster sauce, Chinese Shaoxing cooking wine, or you can use sake if that's easier, dark soy sauce, that warm mushroom water, and sugar. You can adjust this recipe however you want. For instance, you can leave the sake out altogether. It's not going to change the taste dramatically. I've seen people use hoisin sauce instead of oyster sauce. If that's what you have, it's going to be great. There's one more sauce to make, the finishing sauce. This sauce has 2 ingredients that you might not have on hand: the Chinese hot mustard and the chili garlic sauce. But you can likely find both of these at your main grocery store. You might find the mustard as a prepared mustard like this or as a powder. Either one works just fine. For the chili garlic sauce, mine is a li kum ki, and it's just a red chili paste. It's got a little spice to it. Some bol olik would work fine too. So we're gonna heat this sauce up to get the sugar to incorporate. So grab your pot and put it over medium-high heat. And add the sugar, water, soy sauce, rice vinegar, Chinese-style hot mustard, and chili garlic sauce. Whisk it up until the sugar is dissolved and then set it aside to cool. And finally, what about the wrap itself? The great debate: iceberg lettuce or butter lettuce?
Oh, it's not a debate for me. Butter lettuce all the way. They're perfectly cup-shaped, they're flexible, and they have a really great tender but crisp texture.
I could go either way. What do you think? Tell us which you prefer in the comments. Since it's way more affordable, today I'm going to be using iceberg lettuce, which, by the way, is what PF Chang's uses for theirs. To make this into little cups, we have to cut this head into quarters. Cut off the stem. Then pull apart the leaves. And here's a quick restaurant trick they use to keep the leaves nice and crisp right up until serving. Pop those leaves into ice cold water until just before you serve them. It makes them so much fresher and crisper. Okay, our mise en place is finished. Everything is in its place and ready to go. Laura, are you ready to start those snap peas?
Yes, let's get this side dish started. I have about half a pound of sugar snap peas here. You can make as many as you want, but look for ones that are bright green and firm. No mushy peas here. And then all you need is some good olive oil, butter, a lemon, salt and pepper. It's all about technique in this recipe. We are going to make these sugar snap peas taste delicious. So the secret to getting that vibrant green color that you see in restaurants is blanching. It's one extra step, but it changes everything. So that's why I have a large pot of boiling water here. I've salted it well, and we're going to do a little bit of blanching. All right, we're just gonna drop the sugar snap peas into the water. We're not trying to cook them, we're just trying to shock them. And this helps set the chlorophyll in, which is what gives them that bright green color, but keeps them super crisp. After about a minute, you'll see that the color starts to get really vibrant. And they're also soaking up some of the salt in the water, which is gonna help to flavor them from the inside out. As soon as they hit that perfect green, scoop them out and then plunge them straight into the ice bath. This stops the cooking instantly, locking in that color and the crunch. They have to be completely dry for the next step, so pat them dry. I think these peas are best eaten right out of the pan, nice and hot and crisp. So let's get back to Angie so she can finish up the chicken first.
Before we cook the chicken, there's one more ingredient. The crunchy stuff that's in a PF Chang's lettuce wrap, the fried rice sticks. Now, I don't know that these are a make it or break it part of the recipe, but they do add a really fun crunch. We can fry some up quickly using these rice vermicelli noodles. I've got a pot here with some peanut oil heating up. Make sure to use a thermometer so you can watch the temperature of your oil. While that's heating up, we're gonna break apart some of these noodles. I'm just breaking them into matchstick size pieces. As soon as the oil hits 400 degrees Fahrenheit, I'm going to add a small handful of the vermicelli and watch closely. They puff up almost instantly when they hit the hot oil. Remove them immediately. You can always save this oil for another use. I've got a skillet warming up for the chicken. Ideally, you want to use a wok or a heavy bottom skillet. That delicious smoky flavor that you get from the restaurant, that's from a quick sear over high heat. Most home stoves don't generally go that high, so we're just gonna do the best we can here. Add a little peanut oil. Once it shimmers, in goes the chicken. The trick is to quickly break it up and spread it out. Now let's add the chopped mushrooms and the water chestnuts into the meat. We're just gonna stir it around and let it cook for a few minutes. This is building layers of flavor. I can't wait. Now it's time to add in the garlic, the green onions, and the sesame oil. It's about to smell really good in here. Stir this constantly for about a minute to seal in those flavors. The reason you add the garlic now is so that it doesn't burn and turn bitter, but that can happen quickly if you don't keep things moving around in the pan, so stay vigilant. So the last step is the chicken sauce that we made. We're just gonna dump that in and stir it up. Oh, wow, that smells good. Well, that's it. The filling is done. I'm gonna remove this from the heat so it can cool down just a little bit. We don't want it to wilt the lettuce leaves the second we start filling them. So now would be the perfect time to start sauteing your snap peas. Laura?
Perfect, let's get these on. Let's just heat up a large skillet over medium-high heat and get some olive oil going. Once it's shimmering, in go the peas. We'll just toss them for about 2 minutes. The goal is to heat them through and get a little bit of blister on the skin. Okay, here is the final pro move. You want to turn off the heat. If the heat's too high, it can burn off some of the flavor. We don't want that. We're just gonna add some butter to make a nice glossy finishing sauce. Toss it around and it'll melt in the residual heat, and it's just gonna make this lovely glossy sauce. By the way, in case you missed something or you wanna see the whole recipe, it's down in the description for you. I'm just gonna give these a big squeeze of fresh lemon juice for brightness, a sprinkle of that flaky sea salt, and they're ready to eat.
That looks fantastic, Laura. We're almost done. To plate it up, pile that chicken right onto your fried noodles. Then we've got the lettuce cups and the side of special sauce. Look at that, a restaurant quality meal made right in your kitchen. And I can tell you, it smells delicious. Oh my gosh, we nailed it. You know, you get the savory sweet from the sauce, and then the rich chicken and mushrooms.
Yep, that's what I'm talking about. This is such a simple dish, but it's so good.
Thanks for watching. We've got more dinner recipes for you to try, so make sure to watch the next video before you go.